park key and play it to get in. Then it was the time some farmer coming to our home and say, "Y'all Grandpa was young, you got me over there in my house all night." Not listening going on, not one, nor maybe none, but Grandpa was my pal, and he said I caught 10 in one tree just that way. Because of my grandfather's bragging and his firm belief in my dog and me, a terrible thing happened. One morning, while having breakfast, Mama said to Papa, "I'm almost out of corn here. Do you think you can go to the mill today?" Papa said, "I tell you, the butcher hog was about out of meat." Looking at me, he said, "Shell a sack of corn, take one of the mules, and go to the mill for your mother." With the help of my sisters, we shelled the corn. Throwing it over our mule's back, I started for the store. On arriving at the mill house, I tied my mule to the hitching post, took my corn, and set it by the door. I walked over to the store and told Grandpa I wanted to get some corn ground. He said, "I'll be with you in just a minute." As I was waiting, I heard a horse coming. Looking out, I saw who it was. And I didn't like what I saw. It was the 2 youngest Pritchard boys. I had run into them on several occasions during pie supper for dances. The Pritchards were a large family that lived upriver about 5 miles. As in most small country communities, there is one family that no one likes. The Pritchards were it. Tales were told that they were bootleggers, thieves, and just all around the town. The story had gone round that old man Pritchard had killed a man somewhere in Missouri before moving to our part of the country. Reuben was 2 years older than I, big and husky for his age. Had much to say. He had mean-looking eyes that were set far back in his rugged face. They were smoky-hued and unblinking, as if the eyelid were paralyzed. I had heard that once he had cut a boy with a knife in a fight when he saw him. Rainey was the youngest, about my age. He had the meanest disposition of any boy I had ever known. Because of this, he was disliked by young and old. Wherever Rainey went, trouble seemed to follow. He was always wanting to bet, and would bet on anything. He was nervous, could never seem to stand still. Once at my grandfather's store, I had given him a piece of candy. Snatching it out of my hand, he ate it, and then sneered at me and said it wasn't any good. During pie supper one night, he wanted to bet a dime he would whip me. My mother told me always to be kind to him, but he couldn't help me the way he was. I asked him why. She said it was because his brothers were always picking on him and beating him. On entering the store, they stopped and glared at me. Reuben walked over to the counter and Rainey came to me. Leering at me, he said, "I'd like to make a bet with you." I told him I didn't want that. He asked me if I was scared. "No, I just don't want to bet," I said. His neck and ears looked as though they hadn't been washed in months. His ferret-like eyes kept darting here and there. Glancing down to his hand, I saw the back of his right sleeve was stiff and starchy with a crust of white. He saw I was looking him over and asked if I liked it when I saw it. I started to say no, but didn't. Turned and walked away a few steps. Reuben ordered some chewing tobacco. "Aren't you feeling young to be chewing?" Grandpa asked. "Ain't for me, it's for my dad," Reuben growled. Grandpa handed 2 plugs to him. He paid for it, turned around, and handed 1 plug to Rainey. Holding the other up in front of him, he looked it over. Looking at Grandpa, he gnawed at one corner of it. Grandpa mumbled something about how kids was brought up these days. He came from behind the counter saying to me, "Let's go grind that corn." The Pritchard boys made no move to follow us out of the store. "Come on," Grandpa said. "I'm going to lock up until I get this corn ground." "We'll just stay here. I want to look at some of the shirts," said Reuben. "No, you won't," said Grandpa. "Come on, we're locked up." Begrudgingly, they walked out. I helped Grandpa start the mill, and we proceeded to grind the corn.